Are you trying to host a Valheim dedicated server from your own PC, but your friends aren't able to join? If the answer is yes, then this video will help you guys fix any issues you were having with your server. Before we get started, make sure to check out my video on how to set up a Valheim dedicated server to make sure you have followed all the steps correctly. I will put a link in the description and add an info card in the top right corner of the screen. If you set up your server using my tutorial already, then keep watching. Also, make sure you're watching the most up-to-date version of this guide. If there are updated versions, I will put a link in the description and add an info card in the top right corner of the screen. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more Valheim tutorials in the future. Also, make sure to join my Discord channel if you haven't already. It's a great place for me to communicate with you guys and help you with any questions you might have. The first thing you want to check is make sure you are giving the correct IP address to the people trying to join the server. You want to give them your public IP address, not your local IP address. To make sure you're giving them your public IP address, go to whatismyip.com and look for the IP shown under IPv4. After you have done this, you want to open a Steam window. Go to the top left corner of the Steam window and click View. Next, click on Servers. Next, click on Favorites. Next, click Add a Server. Next, type in the IP you found under IPv4 on whatismyip.com, followed by the port starting with 2456, and then click Find Games at this address. If it says server not responding, then try 2457, and then also try 2458 as well. If it still says the server is not responding, that means we might have an issue with the port forwarding in the router settings. So log into your router and go to the port forwarding section. You want to make sure under the external port you put the range 2456 all the way through 2458. Some routers might have a few options like single port forwarding and range port forwarding. Make sure range port forwarding is selected if those options show up. For protocol, you want to make sure both UDP and TCP are selected. For the internal IP address, you want to make sure it's the same IP that shows up under ipconfig. To do this, open up a new CMD window and type in ipconfig. Make sure the address there is the same as the internal IP address on your port forwarding section. After you have done this, you want to open a Steam window. Go to the top left corner of the Steam window and click View. Next, click on Servers. Next, click on Favorites. Next, click Add a Server. Next, type in the IP you found under IPv4 on whatismyip.com, followed by the port starting with 2456, and then click Find Games at this address. If it says server not responding, then try 2457, and then also try 2458 as well. The next step is to make sure the ports were entered properly in Windows Defender Firewall with Advanced Security. You actually have to click on the search icon right here, and you want to type in Windows Defender Firewall with Advanced Security, and then just click right here once it pops up. Next, you want to start by clicking on Inbound Rules, and then you want to create a new rule. And then we want to click on Port, and then click Next. So we are going to want to create one for TCP and also UDP, but you have to make a new rule to do the UDP. So first we're going to start with TCP. So type in the ports, so 2456 through 2458, and then click Next. Make sure Allow the connection is selected, and then click Next. Make sure all of these are selected, and then click Next. You can call this anything, so just put Valheim, for example. And then you want to do the same exact thing, create a new rule, click on Port, click Next, and then on this part you want to click UDP, and then put the same ports, so 2456 through 2458, then click Next. And then make sure Allow the connection is selected again, click Next, make sure it's all selected, Next, and then call the same thing, Valheim. Finish. After you do that, you want to do the same exact thing for outbound rules right here. So click Outbound Rules, New Rule, Port, Next, TCP, 2456 through 2458. Next. Allow the connection. Next. Next. Call it Valheim. Finish. And then we're going to do it again. Click port. Next. Make sure UDP is selected. Type in 2456 through 2458. Click next. Allow the connection. Next. Next. Just name it Valheim. Click finish. Now we are all done setting up the Windows Defender firewall, so you can just go ahead and click X out of this. After you have done this, you want to open a Steam window. Go to the top left corner of the Steam window and click View. Next, click on Servers. Next, click on Favorites. Next, click Add a Server. Next, type in the IP you found under IPv4 on whatismyip.com, followed by the port starting with 2456, and then click Find Games at this address. If it says server not responding, then try 2457 and then also try 2458 as well. If you still aren't able to get your server up and running, there is a chance your internet service provider isn't giving you a static IP. I recommend contacting your internet service provider and ask if you have a static IP, or see if they are able to manually port forward the ports you want for your server. If you feel like there was a question you have that I did not cover in this video, feel free to contact me in the comments section down below. Also, you can contact me on my Discord channel. There will be a link in the description with an invite link. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe for future Valheim tutorials, and also make sure to check the description to see if there's any Valheim videos that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching, guys.